The March 15th Finance Executive Committee meeting. Let's go ahead and just jump right into this. In terms of the agenda, we will have one presentation this week, and that's Invest Atlanta with Dr. Klementich. So we'll be ready for that. Moving right along, there are 6 items for first read, so we'll get those read in and address them during the next cycle. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into ordinances for second reading. The first item is 23-01130. This is the funds from the Eastside TAD for the 2 Peachtree Street project. Who from the administration will be speaking to this? Is this going to be a Deem, Finance? Do we know?
Council member, I believe this may be and good afternoon. This may be Josh Humphrey speaking to this item.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put it
confirm for you.
Thank you. All right, I'll put a note in for it that it might be him.
Which one are we talking about? I'm sorry.
This is the TAD, $512,000 from the Eastside TAD for 2
I'll
Peachtree Street.
speak to this one.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
So it'll be good that we have Invest Atlanta there. I mean, it'd be helpful to understand also what the balances are in the Eastside TAD in terms of funds that we're pulling this from. So if someone could just signal to, well, you know, Commissioner Santiel, if you're ready to speak to that on Wednesday, that's fine too.
Okay.
All right. Other questions? All right. Next item, 23-01137. This is Councilmember Amos's paper for the 2023 National League of Cities. Mr. Pace, I understand you might be speaking to this or ready to answer questions.
I'm sorry, I was muted. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then we'll have a substitute with the actual account numbers as well as the anticipated total amount to fund this.
Yes, sir. Approximately the estimated costs are around $700,000.
Okay.
We are looking to raise the majority of that amount. So still trying to determine what the dollar amount with the city's contribution would be, but I'll have that information for you all shortly.
Okay. Questions or comments from my colleagues on this paper? All right. Moving on, 23-01141, Councilmember Dozier's paper. This is transfer 1.15 million over to fund building inspections and permitting services. Who will be speaking to this from the administration? I have Deputy Commissioner Satterfield. Is that correct?
Hi, this is Jordan Williams with City Planning. It will be our Deputy Commissioner Janet Sidafal from City Planning.
Got it. Okay. Okay. And then CFO Bala, this is coming from, I understand, the kind of the funds we have in reserves that are restricted. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Questions or comments from or requests from my colleagues on this one? All right, items number 10 and 11 are carry forwards, and we'll kind of process those as usual. Any questions or comments on those?
So,
Yes.
Chairman Juan.
Yes.
So, I think the question, did you ask if these were in the budgeted reserve? These are in the capital finance fund, so they're money we already have in place that's being transferred from planning's capital finance fund to their operational needs. This is leftover capacity that they have from contracts that they're not utilizing.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. I'm sorry. When I first saw that, I thought it was the amount in our reserves that we're holding and restricted from carry forward from that 17 million when we dissolved the enterprise fund. So it's not that.
No, it's not that. It was that at one point, but it's not that. They moved it from that to this capital finance fund, and now they need it for a different reason.
Okay, gotcha. But it's this. Okay, I got you. That's the trail on that then. Very good. I appreciate that clarification. Okay, we'll move on to item number 12, 23-01145. This is also my carry forward paper. There will be a substitute for this that inserts the amounts in there. Any questions on that? All right, moving on to resolutions, 23-R3277, Councilmember Hillis's paper with Axon Enterprises. I understand this is APD and that Peter Amon will be speaking to this one. And then we're going to amend to attach the iPro report. Any questions or requests on this?
Chairman Wan, this is Jadid. I'll also be talking to this,
Okay,
give you all the background so that,
Good.
you know, everyone has a good understanding of why
Okay.
this need was.
very good. Thank you. Thank you for that. So I'll make a note that it'll be both of y'all speaking. Thank you. Questions or requests from my colleagues on that paper? All right, item 14 and 16, I'll take together. And I believe Commissioner Santil, these will be yours. First one's Councilmember Boone's paper for Fitzgerald Collaborative on Fire Station 25. And then item number 16 is 23-R3283. This is for Harris and Smith for Fire Station 30. Any questions or requests on these papers? Commissioner Santel, something may come up on Wednesday. I may raise the question. So regarding the fire station work, I trust that y'all are talking with the Fire Foundation in terms of repairs and needs of each, because they're going through and asking for vertical dollars from the Moving Atlanta Forward money, and some things aren't lining up. So I'll just give you a signal on that one.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware of those conversations that they've initiated.
Yes,
but
yes, and actually, it's the information that we gave them, and they're just jumping the gun. So I just got to.
Okay.
So yeah, well, we
All
can
right.
go straight all that stuff out.
Yeah, I may ask you because I think council members are now starting to really get in advance of the March 31 deadline, trying to start to
And we'll be
commit those,
meeting
but-
with you guys too to go over your
Okay.
assets within your districts as well. So
Okay,
we'll be
very
going
good.
over
That's
those numbers with you. Yeah.
good. I appreciate that. All right, other questions or requests on those two fire station papers? All right, item 15, 23-R3280, Councilmember Westmoreland's paper with Microsoft. Who will be speaking to this?
Morning,
CIO
Councilmember
Jason.
Juan.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No worries. Jason Sankey will be speaking to it.
Okay, all right, questions or requests for this? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. Item number 17, 23-R3284. This is water and sewer refunds. I understand that this will be held this cycle. Any questions? All right, 23-R3285, FY24 budget priorities. So I see Councilmember Shook. I don't know if there are any other colleagues on the call. Just a reminder to get any budget priorities to either me or Ms. Lindo in advance of Wednesday's meeting. I think right now we've only received one council member, so just make sure that that way we can pull them in on Wednesday. Any questions or requests on that? All right. 23 dash,
Can you hear me?
yeah. Mr. Shook, yes,
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, Shook here. I wonder if she hasn't already done so, if Miss Lindo could copy us on last year's budget priorities.
Ms. Lindo, did you receive that?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mr. Chair, I'll be happy to forward that email again.
very good. Thank you, Ms. Lindo.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mr. Shook. Yep. Anything else from anybody on that? All right, item number 19, 23-R3301, renewal option for Kings 3 elevator. I understand we're going to have a substitute for this with account numbers, and I believe that Tamika Neely Dudley is going to be speaking to that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Questions or requests on that item? All right, moving on. Item number 2023-R3302. First Amendment to Covendus On-Call IT Services. CIO Sankey, are you speaking to this one?
I am.
Okay, all right. I understand we also have a substitute for this that cleans up one of the whereas clauses. Any questions or requests from anybody on this paper? All right, items 21 and 22 we'll take together, 23-R3304 and 3305. They're sole source agreements, first with DataWorks Plus LLC, second with Star Chase LLC. Who will be speaking to this? Will this somebody from APD?
Good afternoon, Yolanda Pascal. Peter Ingram will be speaking to both pieces of legislation.
Thank you. Okay. All right, requests or questions from my colleagues on either one of these? All right, item 23, which is 23-R3306. It's special procurement with Brooks, Berry, Haney, and Associates for traffic signal communication project stuff. I understand that this is going to be held. We still don't have the iPro yet. Any questions or comments on that? All right, item 24, 23-R3307. It's a refund to General Electric Company for 2020 property taxes. Any questions on that? Who will be speaking to that? Someone from finance?
This is Revenue Chief Davis. I'll be speaking to that.
Very good. Okay. All right, questions on that one?
Looks fast, but you don't know if that's full of time. Bitch is that in her kidneys and all that stuff.
All right. Okay, I'm assuming that's not for us. All right, item 25, which is 23-R3308, Aquila Fitness Consulting Systems. I understand this was going to be held because of iPro, waiting for the iPro report. Any questions on that? All right. We have there are no dual referreds this cycle, so unless one of the previous committees moves one of theirs forward, we'll just see what happens in the committee cycle this time. So it takes us to papers held. I understand we have two coming off. The first one is item 43, which is the 5-year financial plan. I understand finance will present that in advance of our having the paper before us. Any questions or comments on that? All right, the second one, that was item number 43. The second one is item number 37. That is the Office of Inspector General and the Ethics Office paper. Now that we've had the work session, I think there's some conversations going on in terms of crafting a substitute for Wednesday, which we'll have before us. I believe I saw Ms. Manigault on here. I will try and reach out to you in advance of that as soon as I get a preview of the where everything stands. Just remember also that because this is a charter amendment, it's going to take 3 reads, and because since we're amending that, it kind of restarts the clock. So hopefully we can get something on Wednesday. That is close to what will be in final form, so we can move it and have it make that timeline. Also, I want to note that I've also signaled over to finance to try and go ahead and proceed with the budget. I know we were trying to do this in advance of the budget, but I want to be respectful of that process to go ahead and start planning for the Office of Ethics being a separate budget department this time, and in anticipation of this paper moving forward in some form or another. Any comments or questions either from my colleagues or even from Ethics or OIG's office on that paper?
Good morning, Councilmember Warren. Thank you so much for that update. Thank you.
Yep, you bet. Any other questions or comments? So I would just ask Ms. Sangoval as well as Ms. Manigault, just make sure y'all are there on Wednesday, because the intent is to kind of crank this out if we can. All right.
No problem.
Will do.
Great, thank you. Anything else coming off of held that we missed? All right, very good. Thank you, everybody. We'll see everybody Wednesday at 1:30. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday.
You too.
Thank you.
You as well.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.